So we're going to switch topics and something that's been in the news a great deal.
Okay.
So we saw recently that in Vermont, it's very easy to buy firearms. 7 Days reporter Paul Hines was able to purchase an AR-15, the same gun used to kill over 50 people in Orlando, with just some emails, no identification, a cash exchange in a local parking lot. So my question for you is, do you think Vermont should implement additional restrictions and regulations on guns? You go first.
I have a friend, and I told him, when I first told him I was running for state representative, he said, if you don't raise my taxes or take my guns, I'll vote for you. He did change on the taxes. He finally admitted that taxes do sometimes have to go up, but the guns he never gave up on. And I think there's no question that no one in Vermont is trying to take anybody's guns away. The other thing that he pointed out, and I think it's important, is that one thing that he really doesn't like is the idea of overzealous, or liberals in general, trying to make craft legislation when they don't know what they're talking about. People who are really involved with guns or who own guns are often very knowledgeable about them, but the people who are making the regulations don't always consult that way. In Colchester, we recently had a bout of a change with one of our ordinances. And this came up in that. There was a select board meeting that I attended, and it was obvious that at least one of the select board members didn't know about the guns as much as the people attending, who were very much interested in it. And so immediately put up a barrier. The select board was smart and did set up restarted the process with a group of people who knew what they were talking about and also wanted to work towards a solution. And I think that's what we need to do on a state level also. I think when good people get together, knowledgeable people who seek representation from the various sides, solutions can be made where we can limit put more restrictions, small restrictions on the use of guns. I don't know enough to be able to say, we want the semi-automatics, automatic cartridge sizes, what kind of, I'm not that familiar with guns.
Okay. Jim.
Well, you know, I don't agree on a lot of things with Governor Shumlin, but on this one I do. If there's going to be any further regulations or restrictions, it has to be on a federal level. It's not something we can do just by our own little state. And I think it's interesting that the 7 Days reporter you referred to, Paul Hines, when he purchased the rifle in a parking lot, he didn't have to go through any background check. This was just a one-to-one transaction. I'm also wondering if Paul's done with the gun since then. But
He handed it over to the police.
oh, he did. Good.
That's the end of the article.
Do the publishers have to pay for the gun itself?
I suspect, but
Okay.
I don't know.
No, there's communications for you. But
It's in the article.
it shows you that just trying to impose regulation here or regulation there is not going to have an effect in Vermont, which by many statistics is the safest state in the nation. Less gun crime, yet more guns per capita. Vermonters tend to be responsible gun owners. Any other restrictions or new regulations are going to have to be federal.